What's up, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint. We got the XM Studios Star-Lord in the house.
Who?
Star-Lord, man. We're going to do an unboxing and a review. Stay tuned. I love how the XM Studios boxes have the picture of the art print with a little biography of the character on the inside of their box here. Alright, we got the XM Studios Assemblage Handbook here for Star-Lord. Our pride, your joy. This is always helpful when you're trying to repackage these things, which you know I've done a few times. The base, the assembly, I don't think we really need instructions on this piece. It seems pretty straightforward. Here's the art print as seen on the side of the box there. Very cool, nice to frame up and companion with the piece. It's kind of nice to not have to have layers, right? So let's go ahead and take out the base. Very cool, like a cockpit on one of the ships that you would see from either in the movies or in the comics. We don't show the bottom of the XM Studios bases because they have serial numbers that you can register, and people use that to knock them off. Meaning recast and making fakes of the statue. Pull out Peter Quill. Alright, very cool. What sold me right away on this was the comic accurate costume. They didn't do the movie version. This is the costume straight from the 2008 series, Abnett and Landing Run. I think he has just, he has 3 arms. I think this, yeah, the right arm is a switch out. This one is holding the gun upright. Looking very cool. Now that I'm looking, you might need that assembly for some pieces of the base. Here's his left arm. I think he only has one left arm. Has a smaller pistol. Nice. This looks just like a piece of the base. Some battle damage, part of the base here. And here's this second right arm here that gives him more of an outstretched pose. Looking good. Another piece of the base. Alright, so I was wondering how they were going to do the light up feature. It looks like the portrait has the battery in itself, which is awesome. They don't have to hollow out the piece. You just remove this. Boom. Nice, bright portrait, and it looks like you'll get the top of his head inside of there. Let's keep this little thing here. Helmet with a magnet inside. And you have an unmasked portrait, which I didn't see a picture of this until it started shipping. I had no idea they were doing an unmasked portrait. I think it's a really nice addition. It's weird because you think of Chris Pratt when you think of Star-Lord, but this doesn't really look like Chris Pratt. It's the comic version. And I can tell you it looks way better than the pictures that I've seen so far from collectors. It looks like it has much more texture and color in his face, and I hope you guys are able to see that. Because in the pictures I saw, I was like, ooh, that looks kind of flat. But that looks really, really good. Alright guys, we have all the pieces out of the box on the table. Let's go ahead and get him assembled. Alright, so you got this like this little ship, kind of something out of the movies that we've seen. You have the cockpit is crash landed into these rocks, and I really like it. I like the chair. I like the dashboard here. It looks very cool. That goes in first. This goes on the side. All right, there we go. Let's get his arms on. All right, guys, man, Peter Quill, Star-Lord is all assembled. And I got to tell you, this is one of those pieces that I wasn't super excited about it in pictures. I mean, I was happy it had the comic accurate suit. But this is one of those pieces that in person, it exceeds your expectations. I think it looks awesome. He's got a lot of presence to him. Right now we have the masked portrait that has the light up feature and both arms extended out. That's kind of how I plan to display him. You know what I like about it? It's got a small footprint, right? It's not a huge, overwhelming base, but it's not a small museum pose. I mean, it's still kind of semi-dynamic, and it looks really good. Let's go ahead and switch out. Well, first let's turn on his light up. Nice, bright yellow light in that mask. I think it looks really good. Like some light ups, you can't even tell that it's on when the lights are on. But this one, I think you're going to be able to tell because it really has a bright light in there. Cool, so you can have it like that. Again, I love they don't have a plug with a hollowed out base in order to put that light up feature there. This arm we can switch out, which actually looks nice too. Just to give you another option, kind of change it up a little bit. And let's just try the unmasked portrait here. It looks like the unmasked portrait has a smaller helmet than this. Looks a little more compact. Just by a little bit. Alright guys, so before we get into the review, let's talk about Star-Lord a little bit. A lot of people's first introduction into Star-Lord was in 2014 when the Marvel Cinematic Universe released Guardians of the Galaxy. It came out of nowhere. Most people have never heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. I personally only heard of them from the Major Victory trading card, because on the back, his first appearance or cover appearance was on a Guardians of the Galaxy issue. But I wasn't a Star-Lord fan or a Peter Quill fan either. But Peter Quill actually first appeared in 1976 in a Marvel Preview issue number 4, which was like a magazine-style book. And he was the same kind of intergalactic police officer type of character. And he didn't join and lead the Guardians of the Galaxy team until 2008, when he appeared on the cover with Drax and Rocket and Groot for Guardians of the Galaxy issue 1, which was its second volume. The previous volume being the one I talked about in the 90s. That Abnett and landing run really put him on the map, and then he had a big role in the Annihilation storyline, and then the War of Kings storyline, and then obviously when the movie came out, forget it, he became a household name. It's no more.
Who?
Not for Star-Lord anymore. Snarky character, and the unmasked portrait really captured his kind of cockiness and bravado. He has no superpowers, although in the movies they kind of have made him to be more than human. We know that he's half human and half alien, but he always just relied on his wit, his smarts, his gadgets, things like that. Let's take a look at the piece and we'll review it, and we'll wrap this thing up. I mentioned the base. I talked about the base. I think it's an awesome design choice for this character. I mean, you can't give Star-Lord just a rock base. It's got to have something that kind of embodies who he is, and he's like a space pirate. So you have this collapsed ship. It looks really good. You have nice weathering for the metal parts, like on the chair and on the sides. You have the deck is a different type of metal color. It is crashed into a rock base. He's stepping outside of the where the windshield would have been. And I like how they included that kind of broken, damaged piece. That really helps. Costume, I'm a big fan of it. Even though it's kind of corny, it almost looks like an Imperial Guard or something that you would see, like, I don't know, guarding, like, I don't know, the Queen or something like that. But attention to detail has not been spared. I mean, the boots, the straps, the kind of gauntlets that go over his shins. You have the nice folds and nice texturing in the pants. We got a belt. We got some pouches there. The emblem on his chest with, like I mentioned, that weird kind of uniform look, which also Rocket wears. I can't wait to pair the XM Studios Rocket and Groot with this, which should be coming out soon. Gloves have great detail, a lot of nice weathering. You guys saw the portrait. The unmasked portrait looks really good. It came out really well. I saw cell phone pictures, and I take cell phone pictures, so not to knock anybody, but they didn't do it justice. With Star-Lord being part of XM Studios' make-to-order policy, there have only been 350 of these made, so they are sold out with a very low edition size, which is good for the hobby. It's going to make this piece more desirable, and more than likely, this piece will go up in value, unlike so many statues in this day and age, which is awesome for collectors. You know, it's nice to know that you bought something that appreciated in value, so that low edition size really helps. You were able to pre-order this off of our store, GemMint.store, for retail price, shipping worldwide. And we might have one or two still available there. It's technically sold out through XM, but our supplier had a few in stock, and I don't know if it's sold or not. By the time you see this, it's probably going to be long sold out. But if you want to pre-order any XM Studios pieces, definitely go hit GemMint.store, retail price, trusted shipping, trusted everything. You know how it goes. And that's just going to about wrap it up, man. You guys know what I think about the piece. Mr. X, what do you think about Star-Lord?
Hey, Gem. Yep, I just put him together, and I'm actually reviewing him right now. I didn't use a manual, personally. I'm wondering if you did. But I love him. I think he's great. You know, XM Studios now has this bar of expectation from us regarding paint and sculpt and execution, and I think they definitely hit that. I'm sure you're going to hit a lot of things on the review. I am on mine. But I think where this statue is really killer is the concept. I mean, you know, it's a spaceship or escape pod, and it's open. You can see every different angle of it, and, you know, this is truly the character. He's a fighter. He comes out of his assumably crashed spaceship, kicking ass, and some of the features they have on here, and the execution is just top-notch on the paint and sculpt too. So I think it's a great piece. I'm very happy with it, and I'm especially happy of the low ES. So very, very cool. So I appreciate you checking me out. Not in that way, sicko.
Thank you, Mr. X. Make sure to say hi to Richard Ryder for me. All right, guys, you know the deal. Hit that like button on the way out. Drop me a comment. What do you think about Peter Quill, a.k.a. Star-Lord? Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell, because we're dropping daily content, statue reviews, comic book reviews, movie reviews, and more. And also, we unlocked the membership option if you want to help support the channel. We have 3 different tiers that you can help to not only support the channel, but get extra perks and bonuses. You should see the join button next to the subscribe button under this video. So thanks for watching, you guys. Stay minty fresh. Peace.
Who?